Vatanen, leading the car section, hurtled through a dust storm. Behind, teammate Juha Kankkunen in second place. And behind that, Mitsubishi's Kenjiro Shinazuka in third place, where he finished last year. For Vatanen, this looked like another comfortable win. Not easy, but a substantial margin. There was a rest halt and a rest day ahead, and then just a short chase to the finish. Andrew Cowan's engine blew a few miles down the road from here, and he was out of the 1988 Paris-Dakar. That let Malcolm Smith and the Range Rover up into third place. Marley and the Peugeot task force, the organisers called it an armada, sets about the 405s of Vatanen and Kankkunen. And this is what the people who protested factory involvement were so afraid of. No private entrant could possibly hope to compete with this sort of effort, still less against it. But by daybreak, it seemed someone had found a way. At daybreak, it was clear that Vatanen's Peugeot was missing, stolen overnight, and a ransom demand left in its place. Peugeot refused to pay, and when the competitors gathered for the start, they gathered without the rally leader, who was without his car. That left the way clear for Kankkunen to take the lead, though as he drove through the fine soft sand the locals call fesh-fesh, you could hardly say the way ahead was anything like clear. Meanwhile, the missing Peugeot had been found, and while Vatanen argued, desperate to be allowed to start late without penalty, Shinazuka was up to second place for Mitsubishi. Vatanen had been allowed to start after all, but at the end of that leg, he was excluded from the rally, and that meant Kankkunen led from Shinazuka, which didn't seem to bother Vatanen as much as it might have done. He appeared to be happy he'd got his mascot back.
I'm not really frustrated because okay, it would have been very nice to win the rally, but after all, I mean, the win doesn't go to a bad man, and you know, man from Calvia.
Not bad man.
On the beach at Dakar, Ari Vatanen was there to share in Juha Kankkunen's triumph, and still looked pleased that Peugeot had won. Vatanen was already a victim of the same love of the desert and its people, which had so captured the imagination of Thierry Sabine. On two wheels, the winner was Eddie Orioli, followed in second place an hour behind by Franco Picco, with Gilles Lallet 8 minutes behind in third. Juha Kankkunen wasn't so relaxed about Vatanen's exclusion and drove straight past the rostrum and the victory ceremony in protest. He'd won the 1988 Paris-Dakar on his first visit, beating Shinazuka's Mitsubishi by almost 3 hours and Tambay's Range Rover by 5. After the tragedy which struck the DAF team and convinced Van der Rohe to retire, Lopre and the Tatra held their lead all the way to the finish.